All right, hey everyone, Josh here. Today I've got Drake in the program. He's been finished. He's actually based out of Orange County, and also his job's in Los Angeles. So he's got the best of both worlds on the West Coast. Drake, tell everyone a little bit about yourself so they get an idea who you are before you came into PreHired.
Yeah, definitely. So I have a background in industrial construction. So my last job, I was working at a power plant in Huntington Beach. I'm recently engaged and I have an 8-month-old son. So for the last year, I've really been looking for a more rewarding career, especially in tech. And I found PreHired to be my tool to give me the workflows and skills I need to get there.
Yeah, man. And so that's what made you want to move though? So you've had a background already in another industry. What made you curious about getting into tech and then eventually like I want to do this with PreHired?
Yeah, so mainly I think that the environment in tech sales, SaaS sales positions, I think that it's an environment of self-development, growth, and learning, and that's something that is innate in me. So I've always been drawn to that. And actually, one book that was mentioned in the PreHired program, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, that was kind of my first introduction into sales and just kind of the psychology behind building relationships and being successful in sales. So I've always been drawn to it, but I didn't know where to start to pursue a legitimate career in tech sales, rather than just some telemarketing job that you can get anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of people know what you mean. And what made you though take the leap to do PreHired? You had to have some doubts. What was going through your head when you found us? Did you knew you were kind of interested in tech sales, but why us? What were you thinking when you found us?
I like that it was specialized in SaaS sales, so that was important. After doing a little bit of research after first discovering PreHired, seeing reviews from a couple of the graduates and where they've ended up, and especially at a couple companies in particular that are high growth, very lucrative SDR positions, and that was pretty exciting for me. So yeah, after doing a little bit of research and the reviews, and I'd say that the job guarantee was a safety crutch as well. Just, that's something that you can lean on. So
yeah, everyone likes to know that if everything goes to shit, you've got something like a guarantee that, hey, we give a refund, because we do. If people try and they fail, we give a refund. But we've rarely had to do that, because everyone who just follows the program gets success because it works, and it's math. It's not magic. It's pretty straightforward. So what was it like in the program for you, Drake? What did you really like, or what was it like just going through the material and content?
Yeah, it was all new information that I really didn't have much knowledge of before at all. Especially the software and sales tools, CRM, lead generation, things like that. A couple things that just, for people that aren't in the industry, a couple interesting things like a software that you can see how many times they've opened your email, and automate the way that you can automate emails. And I thought all of that was really interesting. Kind of just automating things and becoming efficient is an awesome achievement. So the way that PreHired made things practical, even just in the job search, was awesome.
Yeah, and that's something that a lot of people don't understand, is that the difference between successful salespeople and poor salespeople is, of course, the industry we choose to work in. If we choose to work in an industry that pays salespeople less because there's less money there, or there's more cost involved, whatever the reason, like they're choosing an industry that pays them less. So you're working the same amount of hours, and sometimes more. Like, for example, pharma reps make a lot less than software sales reps, but they're working 60 hours a week. They're traveling all over. They're in planes. They're driving everywhere. There's a lot of travel, so they end up doing 60 hours a week. So they're actually paid a lot less than software sales, because most software sales positions, SaaS sales, have a good work-life balance. You clock out after 40 hours, right? So so on top of that, though, it doesn't matter if you manage your time. So you're in the right industry, but also it doesn't matter if you manage your time well, because the difference between a successful sales rep and a poor salesperson is often time management. They don't understand how valuable their time is, and they're doing all the wrong things with the wrong people, or they don't have a system to it. So when you apply that, not only are you doing things the right way, but you've got a workflow and a system to run so that you're making your time most efficient. You're spending your time with the most people that you can.
Right.
So that's something that is really important. I'm glad you brought that up. And it's also not just about getting sales meetings, like because we teach you how to do the job more, but you can apply that to the job search. And you were actually able to get several interviews at really top sales teams. And also that's what I ask you next is, it doesn't matter if it's just knowledge for knowledge sakes. I mean, were you able to prove you're a sales pro, one of the top out there, and land a job at a top tech company? And so you were telling me just earlier you did. So tell me about what it was like getting hired.
Yeah, so I initially reached out to the VP of Business Operations at a company in Los Angeles. We scheduled a phone call about 15 minutes, and then a couple days later, I talked to another sales operations associate, and we talked for about 45 minutes, and then we scheduled an on-site interview for the next week. And I came in for the on-site, talked a little bit more about culture and values and a little more about the role, and we had alignment on both sides, and I decided to take the offer, and I'm actually outside today. I'm about to go in about 20 minutes, so today's the first day.
What's the company and what's the position? Tell us a little bit more about what you're going to be doing.
The company is called Medley. It's in Santa Monica. It's a nursing recruiting app for clinics and hospitals. So it kind of replaces staffing and recruiting agencies in the healthcare industry. So the SDR position is focused on qualifying leads, not booking meetings, just a lot of cold outreach and qualifying leads. And yeah, that's it.
It's pretty straight. I mean, you made it sound so simple, but it is that I'm laughing because it's like, yeah, you made it sound so easy, but there's a lot that you had to do to get that point.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I love that you're like, that's what I'm gonna be doing. You're like, I'm gonna go crush it. Yep. So before you head into the offices where you're at in Santa Monica, and you head out to your first day on the job, what advice do you have to people that are maybe they were in your shoes maybe a few months ago? Like they were considering pre-hired, they've been getting our emails, they're on the fence though, they just haven't been ready to pull the trigger to make a change in their career. What advice would you give to someone that kind of were in your shoes, or they're still in the shoes that you were wearing a few months ago?
I would advise definitely to immerse yourself in it. Like for me, when I first started, the path that PreHired sets up for you is a path to success in landing a job and in success in the career. So I would just recommend to completely immerse yourself in PreHired's information and the whole tech sales, SaaS sales industry on LinkedIn, and just listening to podcasts, blogs, and just being all about it, because I think that's where success is in the long term. And if you're looking for the beginning and a head start in SaaS sales, PreHired paves the path. So. Well,
Drake, you're absolutely right. Thanks for the support, but also you're absolutely right. You describe being an ongoing learner or a constant student. Don't ever stop learning, because that's how you stay the best. I mean, once you're the best, we make the best SDRs right out of our boot camps. You're already in the top percentage of salespeople across the country in these SDR roles at tech companies. But you don't stay there unless you continually learn. You keep learning, and you don't stop with that attitude of I always need to be better, because if I stop growing, I'm going to start dying, and other people are just going to keep going past me, the ones that do want to grow and have that mindset. So I love it. You brought up, it's actually the mindset of being you're always a student. You're never beyond learning from other people and studying.
Yep.
So Drake, thanks for sharing your story, man. I'm going to let you go. I wish you the best first week on the job. It's exciting. So I'm going to let you head out and hit your first day on the job.